All right, Nilesh Jain joining in. He's Head AVP Tech and Derivative Research at Centrum Broking. Nilesh, very good morning to you and great to have you on the show. Let's start with the levels that you are expecting.
Morning, Tamanna. Morning, everyone. So as far as Nifty is concerned, looking at the overall structure, we are expecting a gradual up move to continue. Although yesterday we have seen Nifty facing resistance at 25,200 mark, but good part is that 25,000 on the lower side is acting as a very strong support. So that's the 200-point trading range from today's expiry point of view. The narrow range could be somewhere around 25,100 to 25,200. That can be a narrow range from Nifty's today's trading point of view. Overall, undertone looks strong and gradually we are likely to witness an up move towards 25,400 to 25,500. So these are the levels we are expecting in the June series, but purely from intraday point of view, we are expecting sort of a consolidation, you can say, with a positive bias. But sectors and stock specific action should be seen. Apart from that, the volatility index India weeks where we are witnessing a constant decline. In last few trading session, we have seen a gradual decline. It has slipped below 14, so that is giving more comfort to the bulls. And lastly, if you look at the Bank Nifty as well, on the other hand, some bit of underperformance was seen yesterday, but the structure is now looking positive because the risk and reward is looking attractive in the Bank Nifty. So long position can be initiated if at all we see any further dip towards 56,300. That can be used as a buying opportunity.
Okay. And what about ideas for the morning, Nilesh? Good morning, of course.
Right, so I have two buy recommendation. First of all, within Nifty IT pack, in fact, Nifty IT index have given a good breakout. So we are pretty bullish on Nifty IT index for another 4 to 5% kind of rally. So within that space, Tech Mahindra is something that is looking good on the chart. We have seen a good breakout with a good volume participation yesterday. Long build-up is also happening in the IT space. So Tech Mahindra looks positive for upside target of 1701. 1609 should be the stop loss. And apart from that, Exide Industries is another stock where we have seen a good momentum recently. The counter has broken out from its 200 exponential moving average. The recent the price and volume action is hinting that the stock is poised for a big up move towards 422 from a short-term perspective, and then 435 as well can be seen. So stop loss should be placed at 396. Exide Industries is also buy.
Okay, Exide is also a buy.
Exide is coming in these realms of buying so many times now in the last 3 days.
But technical.
Technical, only on technicals. Agree. But it's coming, so it's interesting.
Yeah, and I remember you asked about an Amaraja also in that context.
Exactly.
But not so. It's not. Doesn't seem to be something that's happening with the space.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the realm of buying. But there's a lot more stocks to watch and trade this morning. Parsha joining us to tell us why Hindustan Copper, Zydus Life Sciences, and Tanla Platforms. Tanla actually firing the pre-open session. Why all of this is going to be on the radar? Yes, Parsha. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you for that. So starting with Hindustan Copper, wherein they've come up with the investor presentation yesterday, wherein they want to increase their capacity to 12.2 metric ton per annum from 4 MTPA, and they plan mine capacity expansion till FY31, and for that the capex that they are doing will be 2,000 crore in the next 5 to 6 years. Next on the list is Zydus Life Sciences, a big positive for the company, as their API facility has received EIR, that is Establishment Inspection Report. That means the inspection is closed, and the inspection has been classified as no action indicated. This is the best classification that US FDA can give to any pharma company. The facility underwent inspection from 10th to 14th of March 2025. Next on the list is Tanla Platforms, wherein they're going to consider buyback of equity shares, for which the board meeting is expected to be on June 16th. And last on the list is City Union Bank, wherein the bank is expected to raise rupees 500 crore via QIP.
Okay. Certainly watch out for some of these for sure. The other pieces, like we spoke about, one of them being CE Info as being a key stock to monitor in the session today, and Sterlite Tech being the second one that you want to keep a keen eye out for. A clutch of others, right? Britannia, a case in point too, with that City note, and they have opened a 90-day positive catalyst watch. Maybe it is something you want to keep an eye out for. Nilesh, any thoughts on Britannia as a trade?
Yesterday we saw a follow-up move on the lower side after profit taking that we have seen from the levels of 5750. So structure wise, we are expecting a gradual up move. Do not expect any big spurt today, but yes, a gradual up move may take this counter towards 5800 to 5900. The undertone and the structure looks positive, but the approach should be buy and decline. The counter has a very strong support at somewhere around 5,500. So that should be the stop loss, and gradually we can expect a stock to move towards 5,800 to 5,900.
Okay. Okay, the pre-open rate's about to settle in. Good time to get in our colleague Harsh to talk about the big brokerage call for the day. Harsh, what have you chosen and why?
Well, it's Macquarie on United Spirits. Of course, it's a space in full action, and Macquarie has maintained its underperform, suggested a 21% downside. What do they make of all the developments happening in Maharashtra? First, they're saying that a raise of excise duty will likely impact the numbers by 15% in terms of top line. They've explained this very well, and I'll try to break it down. If the consumer price is roughly 100 rupees, the cost of manufacturing is 10 rupees, and 30 rupees is the excise duty currently. That is proposed to go up to 45 rupees, and if that were to happen, that will increase the price to the consumer by 15%. That's what they are saying. Fine print, of course, awaited, but the concern is that this will likely impact volumes. Consumers will move to cheaper alternatives. This could also lead to or be a blueprint for other states to start implementing hikes in excise. Mind you, states can only raise revenue through liquor and fuel, and therefore this is a clear lever. And Maharashtra accounts for 15% of USL's top line. 30% impact on volumes if price hikes were to come through, and a 5% sales hit is what they are pricing in. Could it reverse? Surely. A volume impact could well impact taxes and could well lead to a reversal if at all this is implemented as well.
Okay, a host of notes actually coming in on United Spirits this morning, and it's not half bad after the huge hit yesterday. The stock completely flat and pre-open. You know, Nirav, I'm wondering, once this sort of settles, do you think United Spirits has some potential there? Would you look at a United Spirits or Radico Khaitan?
Well, I think even when the results were out, United Spirits was looking expensive. And I think with this kind of development, I think it definitely becomes a difficult case to justify investment at this point of time. So I think we would keep away from the stock for the time being.
Okay, now if you are contemplating what to do with an India bet or no, here's something that we have for you. And here's a very prominent investor who is betting big on India. All right, let's get that quote first up on the screen, and then we kind of talk about it. This is Jeff Gundlach. I mean, he's one of the most marquee names in the world of investing. And he's saying the way to invest in periods like this is go with long-term themes. Long-term themes are the most bankable. In 30 years, this would make a great success. So you should invest in India, because India has a similar profile today to where China was 35 years ago. Buy India and do yourself a favor. Don't open the statement for the next 30 years. Tamanna, just the other day we were talking about coffee can investing being dead. And here's, or at least I was of the opinion that you can't just fill it, shut it, forget it, you'll be active. But here's no less than Jeff Gundlach saying that go and buy India and don't open the statement for the next 30 years.
Wow, you know, that's the kind of shot in the arm, and frankly we know this now inside. There is still a bit of that hangover, and I admit it, Neeraj, when you have someone externally of that stature saying it, that you start believing what you can see based on data. So that definitely is one to look at.
Yeah, the only change out there, Tamanna, is that can we as a nation of investors, can that investing culture extrapolate even more within India? And can we buy and sit tight? I think this year will be good for that, because your FD rates are going to come down. And when your savings rate, your debt rates come down, then you do have, I mean, the average Indian is not happy with that FD return anymore. Dil mange more. Yeah, as the average Indian should.
Yes, absolutely. All right, that's the very, very broad look at all of that this morning before we get into trade today. But Nirav, Ashar, let's look at what you're making of the auto space today. And I'm coming back to auto simply because let's see what some of those pre-open rates are settling in. Let's look at what the auto space is doing, because Maruti in focus, they've come out, their Bharat NCAP 5-star rating has come for the Swift Desire. Rare earth problem seems to be easing, or there's hope that it could ease. Is this a good time to build positions in auto if one was so inclined?
Well, I think Mahindra and Mahindra looks a strong pick. Tata Motors looks good. The two-wheeler space looks good, especially Hero MotoCorp. That is what we like. We like Force Motors. And from the rare earth mineral perspective, I think Sona Comstar looks to be the immediate beneficiary, at least in the near term.
Okay, 2 minutes left. So keep an eye out for what the pre-open rates are suggesting and what you should do with some of those stocks if you want to buy or sell them. Because like we said, there's just a clutch of names which are in focus today. I wonder if a stock like Marksans Pharma, where Unify Capital bought about 62 lakh shares, is active or no. Maybe an Indegene that could be active, I don't know, because there was some large delivery based buying that happened yesterday. So keep an eye out for some of these in trade. Nirav, Ashar, very quickly, is it Deepak Fertilizers or is it something else within this whole chemical space that you're still recommending?
Well, we continue to go with Deepak Fertilizers because it's an integrated play. And recently there was some talk that the valuation of just one particular division, which is the technical grade ammonium nitrate, comes to 13,000 crores, whereas the market cap of the company is around 20,000 crores at this point of time. This, of course, does not take into account the industrial chemicals as well as the crop nutrition business. So we still feel there's a lot of steam left as far as Deepak Fertilizers is concerned. And the next, of course, we like is Paradeep Phosphate, which we have been recommending since the 100 rupee levels, and we continue to hold on to that story.
Got it. Nilesh, based on pre-open session, one top trade, 20 seconds, one top trade.
It should be Hero MotoCorp. Looking at the yesterday's price action, we have seen a good breakout. So specifically, two-wheeler space is looking positive now. Bajaj Auto, Hero Moto, both the stocks are looking strong. 4,500 to 4,550 can be seen on the upside with a stop loss below 4,320. Hero Moto is a buy.
Hero Moto is a buy from Nilesh. Keep an eye out as the top trade there. But here come the rates this Thursday morning on Indian markets. And are we starting off green? No, we're starting off absolutely flat. You could argue we're in the red, but it's absolutely flat. Flat as a pancake, as Sidhu would say. IT is down though, 1/3%. Interesting. I mean, some serious delivery based buying yesterday, some selling being seen. Mid caps too flat, small caps also, I would reckon, yep, flattish. This is a very, very feeble start, if you will, more red than green. Let's see the gainers first. ONGC up 2%. Well, with crude being up 4%, no surprise that the oil upstream names would see an uptick. I would reckon Oil India would take off from where it left yesterday. But let's mark the large caps first. ONGC up 2%. Reddy's has about 1.7% kind of a gain. Some strength in Asian Paints, about 1%. Interesting there. I think post the block deal, 3.4% shares of exchange hands in Asian Paints. Sun Pharma, Bajaj Finserv, Cipla. On the losing side, Infosys, HCL Tech, Wipro, all of them may have seen serious delivery-based buying, but for now are pulling back. Is this a pullback that will get bought into is the key question. We will ask Nilesh this. Tata Steel, Coal India, seems like metal index 2 is taking a bit of a pause, pull back. Did I see Eternal somewhere? Maybe I did. Not quite there in the, it is the top 4 or top 5 losers. Eternal or Zomato is also down, and like I said, Hindalco, Grasim are amongst the others as well. That seems to be it. Oil upstream and Asian Paints on the upside, and IT taking a bit of a pause, Tamanna, today.
ONGC, because of that 4% jump in crude prices overnight. You're seeing the crude sensitives respond, whether it's an ONGC, Asian Paints should ideally be down because of that, because a higher input costs. But nevertheless, a big block in Asian Paints showing that kind of an action, and nearly 3% of stake has changed hands in a very, very large company. Eternal feeling the pain this morning. I mean, they've had to drop prices on one key product, as we've reported that competition is coming in. Bad day for IT, as Neeraj and I keep discussing. One day up, one day down. Today is definitely a down day. Let's look at the broader markets very quickly before we move ahead, and what's happening with the mid cap and small cap. Completely flat to negative, but nothing alarming there. Nifty small cap is still doing better, about 0.25% up in trade. India VIX is on the up move, not necessarily a good sign, but under 14, so nothing to worry about. Let's look at the sectoral indices this morning and what's happening there. Nifty Media right on top, fourth trading session in a row. Pharma stocks are doing okay. Dr. Reddy is having a pretty decent day. IT stocks here at the bottom of the barrel, as we can see, while defense stocks are also doing fine. Specific stocks, let's look at Sterlite. Sterlite is on order from BSNL. Sterlite in focus was on our watch list as well and was up in the pre-open session. Could well be the winner of the morning, about 13% up, 12.5%, 13% up this morning. Tanla is considering a buyback in its board meeting, which is going to be in a few days, and that has enthused the streets. Tanla platform has been buzzing last couple of days. It's about 9% up this morning. I want to look at what's happening with the United Spirits and Radico Khaitan a day after they got completely hammered down because of the Maharashtra government's decision to increase duties on a higher level of or luxurious components of liquor. They're seeing a smart reversal here. Radico Khaitan nearly 2.5% up this morning. I want to look at what's happening in the payment space, because the finance ministry has come out and denied that they are looking at any charges on UPI Paytm, down nearly 9% this morning. MobiKwik not that much, but Fino payments about 1% up. So Paytm is definitely seeing some pain coming in. Let's look at the exchanges, MCX and IEX if we can as well, but at least MCX about 1% down after not for electricity futures for NSE actually. So competition coming in is what is probably going to hurt it. Oil India is one which we should look at, HPCL, BPCL if we can, Indigo Paints, Berger Paints, some of those paints will also be interesting to see. ONGC up about 3%, Oil India 4.5% as crude surges. BPCL seeing the pain as would have been expected. Asian Paints is up for another reason altogether, but Berger Paints seeing a bit of a hit. So that's the long and short of it. I don't know if we pulled up CE Info Systems, but maybe we can on the wall, or maybe Neeraj, you can address CE Info Systems and see what's happening there. And after that, a Nazara, CE Info Systems, the block deal impact, once again, Neeraj, you called it, and we are seeing that stock down. Nazara, again, another one that we should track this morning, considering, oh, there you are, superb speed coming in from our producers this morning, 0.5% up on Nazara, despite an open offer at a 20% discount. I mean, 990 rupees is the open offer. Who's buying in this market, Neeraj?
No, I think it's got to do with the fact that people would believe that the open offer will not necessarily go ahead, but now the new people at the helm will maybe take the company to greater heights. I presume Nitish Mittersain would still be in the thick of things out there, but there is a large pool of capital now backing that business. So the top losers include Paytm, CE Info, Ethos is down under the 3.5%, and today the oil marketing companies are taking a bit of a pause. So 3.5% up yesterday, 3% down today for HPCL, for example. So that one is sulking. Landmark Cars is still sulking. Sterlite Tech, as Tamanna pointed out, very good. I wonder if the liquor companies are doing okay today. So Associated Alcohols is up 8%, Tilaknagar Industries is up 6%. So, well, maybe Maharashtra's loss or companies operating in Maharashtra sulking, but not everywhere else, I must say. So, keep that in mind. And yes, Oil India is up 4.5%. So, opening thoughts, Nilesh, to you. One is on IT, the pause that we've seen. Is this an opportunity to buy? Two, ONGC and Oil India, with the kind of moves that they've shown for the last couple of days, is there a trade here?
So Neeraj, we have seen a good breakout recently in the Nifty IT pack. Today's profit taking, what we are witnessing, is giving a good opportunity because the breakout is still very much intact. From the levels of 38,000, we saw that particular move. So till the time it doesn't break below 38,000, this decline should be used as a buying opportunity. the major structure across all large cap IT stocks are still looking strong. So within this space, counters like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, and also Tech Mahindra, these are the few names that are still looking strong and can be accumulated in today's decline. Apart from that, ONGC, as you mentioned, it has given a good breakout technically as well. A lot of consolidation was seen in previous last almost 3 to 4 months now. So there's still some more room left on the upside, and we can expect a further momentum towards 260 to 265. So can be bought in a staggered manner, keeping a stop loss below 245. It's a buy. So ONGC looks good. Gas Authority of India Limited, GAIL, it has also given a good breakout yesterday. I think if you get it somewhere around 198 to 197, that can be a good entry point, keeping a stop loss below 195. GAIL is a buy for upside target of 205 to 210.
Okay. Nirav Asher, are you a buyer in oil upstream, ONGC, Oil India, for example?
We've already bought into Oil India about 3-4 days back, and I think we continue to hold. It's got some very aggressive plans going forward, so I think we'll go with Oil India for the time being.
Now, here's the follow-up here, right? Yesterday, Avendus came out with a note, Avendus Spark, and they say that the stock could double in 3 years. I mean, we don't normally hear of oil upstream stocks doubling, right? Give it any period of time. My question is, do you fundamentally believe that the stock could give you between 30 to 50 to 100% returns?
Well, it's possible in the case of Oil India Limited because the kind of investments they are planning, especially 62 OALPs and discovered small fields, these are areas which could open up new avenues for the company. So I think yesterday the target price which has been given for Oil India is around 630. Whereas I think the stock currently is around 450, 460 levels. So that is very, very, very much doable.
Okay, just a few movers this morning either side. I want to ask Nilesh Jain what he's making of Paytm stock now 8% down. Is this an opportunity to pick up, or would you wait and see how this plays out?
Well, it is better to wait for a reversal candle because as of now, it's a kind of a big gap down opening today we have seen. So better to wait for dust to settle. The stock is still looking more sort of a sideways to weak. It has a very strong support somewhere around 860. So I would rather wait for that level. If it defends 860 level on the lower side and move beyond 900, then probably we can look into this particular stock. But it's an avoid as of now.
Paytm is an avoid as of now. What about a CE Info Systems? That block deal weighing hard on it as well. Again, another loser today. Nilesh, that question for you.
Right. So this particular stock is also looking weak on the chart. It has broken its important support of 1850. It looks like it is heading towards 1790 to 1780 levels on the lower side. So looking at today's the carnage that we are witnessing in CE Info, the structure is looking weak. It is also an avoid from our side.
Okay, so both are avoids from your side on the charts. What about you, Nirav? Any view there on the whole payment system? Because strong denial there that there will be no MDR for now, but the industry is pushing that at some point they will want an ecosystem which works.
Well, I'll wait for more clarity on this before we take a call on this particular space.
Okay. Anything that you are liking, Nirav, after you've seen the opening session? One of the big movers, of course, continues to be Sterlite. You have some of the oil majors, as Neeraj also talked about, ONGC moving. Radico Khaitan also showing a smart move. We spoke earlier about Radico Khaitan and United Spirits. Would you reconsider there?
Not the spirits companies, but I think this could be a revival of sorts for Sterlite Technologies because the stock has been a rank underperformer since many years, and this order win could be a game changer as far as the company is concerned. So I think Sterlite Technologies is something which we can have a look at. Apart from this, we've been looking at, as we already spoke about Oil India Limited, we've been looking at Nalco, Hindustan Copper, GMDC. These stocks we are beginning to look at very seriously.
Sorry, no, just a follow-up there. Nirav, GMDC now, yes, everybody talking about it on the rare earth piece, But fundamentally, what's the trigger? I mean, is there an earnings growth estimate that you have without the rare earth piece? Because the rare earth piece is a story. Even if it has to translate into earnings, it's probably going to translate 2 years out. What is the earnings picture until then? What's the fundamental story behind GMDC?
Well, I think all the stories which we have spoken about, they have a very integrated scale of operations. That means they are backwardly integrated. Of course, we are not playing on the rare earth thing as far as GMDC is concerned. What we are looking is at the growth. If they are able to achieve growth rates what they have promised going forward, then I think we are set for a major uptick as far as the valuations are concerned. And the best part is that most of these companies have achieved very strong cash flows in FY25. If this money gets plowed back into the business, I think it can generate significant returns going forward. So this is a 2 to 3 year story, but I think capable of achieving very good returns.
Okay. And Nilesh, one quick word on GMDC from your end too, because it's been an active stock. In 1 month, it's gained over 30%. Is there more to this?
Yes, Neeraj. So we have seen a good consolidation breakout. The stock was stuck in a very tight range from past 6 to 8 months. It has given a good breakout from the levels of 405. So on the upside, I think there is still possibility of another 10% kind of move in next 1.5 months. The upside seems to be may extend towards 440 to 445. It has a very strong support somewhere around 385 to 390. So that should be the stop loss, can be added on decline because we have already seen good momentum in last 3-4 months. So better wait for some dip towards 400 and that can be bought.
Okay. Okay, Nilesh, Nirav, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us today. Really appreciate your time this morning. And let's focus on a key business.